Okay, this is David, and this is my Anet A8 3D printer. I was interested in a printer like 3 to 5 years ago, and wasn't sure what to buy or what kind of options I needed. And about 4 months ago or so, I revisited it and started looking on eBay, and I found this guy here for 140 bucks. And I thought, what the heck? And after I purchased it, I did a little more research and then realized that I had to put it together. So it showed up in a box full of parts. So the first thing you need to do when you get this is dig into the bottom of the box and find the USB drive that has the instructions on it. The instructions actually kind of suck, but they're better than nothing, and you do kind of need them. So either look at them on another computer or print them out, whatever. They're somewhat helpful. So this guy will print all kinds of plastic. We'll get into that later. So when you get this, first of all this plastic stuff, acrylic, whatever, is wrapped in brown sticky paper to protect it. So if you have somebody to help you maybe peel off the covering as you assemble it, it's helpful. These things, it's all put together with these 3mm screws all over the place and nuts, and you will drop some on the floor. Don't lose your mind. They give you a couple extra, so it's not that big of a deal. When you have old eyes and big fingers, it gets kind of frustrating. I think I spent 6 hours one night, and then I gave up and came back to it the next day and spent another 2 hours finishing putting this together. One thing that I didn't catch the first time, one mistake I made, was there are end caps on here for the shiny rod here that this slides on, and basically what happened is I didn't adjust this properly. These nuts here, I didn't adjust properly the length of it, and I ended up cutting the belt too short, and I had to order another belt. But I could still print stuff with it as long as it wasn't too big. So that wasn't such a big deal. And I think the belt, I spent less than $10 on a new belt. When you do the wiring, again, there isn't a whole lot of help with it, but everything from the extruder here goes up and over the top. Okay, so you want to do that. And the bed wiring, you want to make sure that there's enough slack so that this thing can go all the way forward and all the way back. The power supply wires, I grouped in with that. I could have run it around the bottom. I don't know. Who knows what to do. So anyhow, as far as the assembly of it goes, that's that. Just be patient. If you lose screws, don't worry about it. There you got a couple extra. And it's a little bit of a project, but overall this thing has been pretty good. I've basically printed with PLA. I tried with ABS, and it kind of didn't come out so good, and I need to revisit that. That's another story. So for 140 bucks, if you're somebody that likes hobbies and wants to play around with it, you can't go wrong. You really can't. So there are a number of upgrades for this, and I will do that in another video. And like I said, I'm also involved in model trains, so this has been very useful in my model train hobby. I've printed a number of things. If you look at my video, it says Incline 2, you'll see a number of these guys, gears. The basic process here that nobody explains. When you want to print something, basically the printer prints a file called a G-code file. So you start with your CAD file, which is like could be an AutoCAD file. I use TurboCAD. and then you have to save it as an STL file, stereolithograph. So you have an STL file, and then you have a program called Cura, C-U-R-A, Cura, which also comes with the printer. And then you open that file, you open the STL file in Cura, and then that's when you adjust your temperature settings, your infill settings, support settings, things like that, and then you save it as a G code, and then you put it into the printer. And basically how you do that, again, nobody explains that, but over here is the little micro SD card that comes out, and you put that, if I can get my fingers on it. Okay, so that goes into the USB drive. You put it in your computer, and you copy the STL file, or I'm sorry, you copy the G code file onto this, and then you take it out. You take that out, and you put it into the printer. Okay, I can't believe this. My camera died right in the middle of this video, so I'm gonna have to splice these videos together. No big deal. So where I was you take your micro SD card with your G code file, and you put it into the printer right here, and then you go up to your menus. I guess you can't really see them, so you go to the main menu, and first thing you want to do, quick settings, and then home all. So this basically sets everything to the starting point. And of course you've leveled the bed. That's another video for another time. So we go back to the main menu, and then we click on SD card, and then print file. Alright, let's go back. Unmount card, mount card. So if you take the SD card out while it's running, it doesn't recognize it, so then you have to unmount and remount it. And then when you mount it, then you will see your files there, and you scroll down, select your file, and click print, and then it will start to print. So like I said, this thing says that it will print any type of plastic, from ABS, nylon, wood-filled metal, and of course PLA is the easiest to work with, but some of them you need to make some adjustments. If you're going to print with wood-filled or metal-filled, you may have to replace the nozzle, and again, that's another story. So that's basically how you do it. Alright, enjoy. So for 140 bucks, I am not at all disappointed. I've got my money's worth out of this, no doubt, and I've had a lot of fun. Alright.